Yo, right, quick update. So this is 17 days in now, 1/7. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. It's looking alright. Some areas it's a little bit thinner, but there's enough in there. Like there's at least one little plant every, half a centimetre or something. So I reckon it's going to branch out and thicken up. The lawn destruction team here are outside enjoying it. This dog here loves doing skids on the lawn. Like I think she goes to the toilet and then she just starts scratching her legs, running on the spot basically. So I think 2-week-old Ryegrass can't handle that too much. You can just sort of see chunks flying out as she runs away. So there's one little spot here, yeah, that you've done. One little spot here where she's done pretty substantial burnout. Again, there's still heaps of little plants in there. It's obviously nowhere near as thick as it is everywhere else, but now what I wanted to do today is talk about how I'm using my Ez-Flo to help me with seeding and germination. If you watch the episode where I built this, you'll sort of understand what my concept was. It's been through a few changes since then, just because I didn't know anything about plumbing or how pumps work and pressure and all that. So the basic principle of this is that there's an inlet here that comes from the rainwater tank over there, comes into the pump, and this is just a gauge that I had out of curiosity just to see how much pressure the pump was putting out, because I blew the mechanical seal out of the pump, and I was just curious. So it comes out here into a master control valve, and then it goes into this pressure tank, goes into that pressure tank there. That's to handle over pressurization, and then it comes up here into a one-way valve, then through the flow meter, then up into the banks of solenoids. Alright, so Ez-Flo, I love this thing, man. So this thing here, the Ez-Flo, is wicked. It doesn't replace complete using granular fertilizers or even just spraying on fertilizer or anything like that. It doesn't replace it completely, but I think it's just another cool piece of equipment to have in your toolkit. So I'll tip this out. This is empty now, as in it's completely full of water, but it's empty of liquid fertilizer. Clear liquid. There might be a tiny bit of goody stuff down the bottom that sort of solidified a bit and the pickup can't grab it, but it's like minimal. It's sort of like, maybe like, that was maybe like 150 mil maybe of sludge in the bottom. So let's fill this back up and I'll show you what I've been using to kick my seed along to help it. Right, so this model Ez-Flo does holds I think 3.2 litres. So I've got myself a 3-litre jug to mix this stuff up with. So we'll put a little bit of water in here. I had a bit of this stuff left over, and because it was a bit warm when I first started doing this, I wanted to make sure there was some soil wetter going down every time. So Hydromax by Lawn Pride. Smells like a decent one. A little bit of Stimulizer. A little bit of Nutrifeed 23, just for some nitrogen and all the good stuff. Like actually just tiny bits of fertilizer helping, so the plant has anything. If the plant needs anything, it's got it. So another thing to help with helping the roots develop, and that is seaweed. So I've bought a bag of this rescue remedy stuff from Plant Doctor. Basically it's basically it's just seaweed flakes. they're just soluble. So I just throw a bit of that in there. What's that like? That's a cup, so that's maybe like a quarter of a cup. Maybe a little bit more. All this stuff here and the Ez-Flo itself, I feel for a lawn, it isn't going to replace, you know, having to fertilise your lawn, or it's not going to replace having to fertilise your lawn or still apply stuff. But I just feel like, you know, it's got a little bit of soil wetter going every time it gets watered. It's getting a little bit of kelp every time it gets watered. You know, a little bit of fertiliser, a little bit of NPK. It's just getting tiny amounts whenever it needs it. Oh God. I'm not having a good day with liquids, am I? Right, so there's a little bit of foam that builds up on the top. You just sort of let that settle. You do not want to have any air gap or any foam sitting at the top of this. You want it to be all liquid. It says that in the instructions here. Caution, air in unit may cause serious damage. So I'm pretty sure it just blows up. So yeah. Liquid, tiny bit of foam, but nah, liquid. So you're gonna spill a little bit when this goes in. Probably not the best of putting in the concrete. Plugging back in, black to blue, and a clear on the green. I always leave mine set. That's max, and there's 2, 1 minimum. I always leave mine on slow. So that will burn through, on slow, that'll burn through that in about, it'll burn through that, and I think it's just over 30,000 litres. So, for the whole garden, so that does rear lawn, front lawn, rear garden, front garden, that's about a month. So yesterday I gave this another mow on the second to lowest setting on the rotary. So I'm trying to get it down to, trying to keep the plant height low, so when it does branch out, it's not too high, like the branching height. It's because I think there's something wrong with my Scotty. Like I said, it's a bit worn out and flogged out. The maximum height of cut I can do on that is going to be 19 mil. So I want to try and get that on here, cutting within the next probably week or so. Then I can start to train the rye to have a crown height that's quite low, and that will be suited to me. I really just wanted to show how I've been using the Ez-Flo in the garden here, and I'm, you know, all that stuff's got to help, mate. The kelp going down every single time it's getting watered, a little bit of soil wetter every single time, a little bit of fertilizer every single time. You know, every day it's just getting spoon fed. I think it's loving it. Obviously, obviously you don't need that, but why not? You know what I mean? If you've got access to those things, if you want to buy one, do it. I haven't got a bad word to say about them. They're awesome. I just paid for that myself, not a paid promotion or anything like that. I saw it years ago and I thought, I'm in, I want that. And yeah, when I got here, I thought, once I was going to start doing the lawn on YouTube, I thought, you know, I'm going to do it. So yeah, once I'm sort of happy and I've got it mowing, and I'll go through and I'll sort of explain what I wish I knew before I started, so I can sort of, if someone has never done this before like me, there's some things I didn't know, some things I found quite hard to find information on. Get out there, get stuck into it, have fun in your garden, go and mow your lawn, get an Ez-Flo. Cheers, catch ya. Are you doing burnouts? You doing burnouts, darling? Yeah, I think you have. Been busted. Doing skids. Don't lick the fertilizer. Good girl.